Hello everyone and welcome back. ChronicKloudz here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Tier 6 United States Destroyer Benham. To start things off, I'll give a brief history of the ship, then we will get into our thoughts of the Benham and take a look at the stats and the commander build. USS Benham was the lead ship of her class of destroyers and the second ship of the United States Navy to be named for Andrew Ellicott Kennedy Benham. It missed the attack on Pearl Harbor, being an escort for the aircraft carrier Enterprise on its way to Midway Atoll at the time. It also served off Hawaii during the Doolittle raid, rescued survivors from several ships, and operated during the Battle of Midway and landings on Guadalcanal. Among other missions, it was torpedoed and rendered unusable, for which she was sunk at the end of 1942. In my honest opinion, the Benham can be a fun destroyer to play, but at times it feels like it doesn't know where it belongs. And what I mean by that is, well, while it's a Fletcher class ship, the guns are a little underwhelming at times. And it has 16 torpedoes, but they are somewhat gimped due to their range being under 8 kilometers with a max damage of 9,200 without using Tanaka as inspiration, so it ends up falling right in between a gunboat and a torp boat. Having those 8 torpedoes on each side does grant you the ability to zone multiple targets. So let's look at the commander build. I am using Bumblebee with Atago as my commander. Now let's look at the stats. And at any point, if you want to look at the stats, just pause it. And this is with Bumblebee as my commander, with Eric Bay and Azurlane Atago. Now let's take a brief look at the gameplay. To start this off, I want to go ahead and say that this is definitely not the highest damage game that I could have gotten this ship, but I felt like it was a ship that kind of showed off its torpedoes and its guns a little bit. It also shows off its concealment as well and its rudder shift. I'm not 100% the best destroyer player in the game, and I will admit to that. I mean, I'm not bad. I can hold my own. But for your average destroyer player, this ship felt pretty good. It's definitely a great ship, and it's definitely worth the Admiralty backing, in my opinion. Right here at the beginning of this game, though, if you notice, all of our big ships, our bigger teammates, are pushing up towards A, and they're going over to help at C. And we also have one destroyer that's decided to stay with us and kind of come out here and see what's going to pop around this island, see what the enemy team's going to do on this side. We already see that there's possibly 4 or 5 battleships over here, okay? And a Benson pops up. So first things first, a destroyer comes up. We want to try to use survivability against those battleships, and we want to try to get that Benson out of here, because while the guns are pretty good in this ship, you're going to get outgunned by a Benson 100%, unless RNG takes your side. Now we see that he's smoking up. We go ahead and predetermine where we want those torps, launch them off right into his smoke. I mean, he couldn't have had too much time to get away. And of course, we end up getting him with a devastating strike. That's our first 2 torp hits of the game, and our first kill, as well as we get first blood. Okay, we go ahead and dodge the torpedoes that he sent at us. As you see, the rudder shift on this ship is just, it's so nice. It's so nice. You can turn on a dime. The turret traverse speed is not that bad either. The turrets turn around the ship pretty quick. We got this Ashitaka out here, kind of looks like she wants to press to the edge of the map. Don't really know what she's doing out there, but we're gonna go ahead and push up here into this Benson smoke and go ahead and use that before we use ours. We'll go ahead and use that way we can have ours for backup. The Ashitaka does get into torp range, but first we wanted to check to see if we could get anybody else. Go ahead and lead the shots just a little bit, and then we're going to slow it on down. We're keeping our eye on the time of this smoke. We have 22 seconds left in this smoke. We don't have to pop our smoke just yet. It probably would have been a better idea to do that, but I waited just a little bit longer than I should have. And as you see here, I get spotted, but we do manage to get a couple torpedo hits, and so does our other torpedo boat buddy, and we end up taking him out. And right behind us, a Japanese destroyer, the Akazuki, decides to pop out. We already had torps ready on that side, so what? Might as well send them off. Now we're going to try to gun him out. And he turned right in to the direction of those torps and takes one. We use our guns to get the second kill of the game for us, and that would be the second destroyer that we've taken out in the game. So we took out half the destroyers. We did our job. We did our job on this flank anyway. Now it's just on to the battleships. Now this is where a destroyer player starts salivating. You have 4 battleships, no destroyers, no cruisers. This is time for destroyers to have fun. So we're gonna push over here and see if we can't get some fun going ourselves. We have a Scharnhorst, Iowa, John Bart, and a Bismarck over here. I believe the Bismarck is the closest to us. No, the Scharnhorst is the closest to us. I'm sorry. We don't really want to use our guns just yet. I don't want them to know what angle I'm coming from. That's one thing with a destroyer that's a torpedo boat. You wanna have surprise at your arsenal, because surprise can, if nobody knows something's coming and you surprise them with it, it's gonna devastate them in more than one way, mentally and in the game. But we're gonna try to get some torpedoes off on this Scharnhorst. Initially, I thought he was pushing forward, but we do aim behind him a little bit just in case. Get spotted. Use that great rudder shift and turn on out. We dodge the secondaries from the Bismarck, go undetected, and just dodge the shells coming from the Scharnhorst. Those torpedoes do look a little bit short, and he wasn't going forward. Excuse me. He was actually going backwards. But those last 2 torpedoes look good. And we do. We end up hitting the last 2 torpedoes from that torpedo salvo we sent. I'm going to go ahead and try to flip her on around, use our other torpedoes. They got 30 seconds on them. There goes the Scharnhorst. Our Akazuki buddy over here to our left helped us take him out. We've really just taken over this side, me and this Akazuki. Shout out to him for giving me great support this whole entire game. We came over here just 2 destroyers, and it worked out. The John Bart wants to come in here and lemming train with his buddies, so we're gonna give him something to think about. And here's where I make a mistake, fellas. Instead of turning in, I should have turned out. And I get just close enough to this John Bart for him to spot me, and for long enough for him to get 1 salvo off on us. And it's not pretty. The torpedoes do look good, so we save these that we have on this side. John Bart has his guns on us, fires, and hits us pretty nice. But our torpedoes come in contact with his ship, and he is now at Davy Jones' locker. and we're left with the last ship in the game, the Bismarck. I could go for the cap, but I have a feeling that this game is just going to be over anyway before I get the cap, so I'll go ahead and start trying to set this Bismarck on fire and get as much extra damage as I can. The game's already won. But all in all, this is a great ship. I wouldn't say it's the best tier 6 destroyer. I honestly wouldn't. The guns are decent. The torpedoes are good, but they have really short range, 7.5 kilometers. The rudder shift is amazing in this ship. The speed is actually very good in this ship too. I think you're sitting right around 36 knots without boosting it, and you can boost it even more on top of that, because I'm going for a torpedo undetectability or whatever. But anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button and subscribe for more World of Warships content. We end the game on 74,000 damage with first blood, 2 devastating strikes, 3 kills, and 11 torpedo hits, taking first on our team. And until next time, guys, we will see y'all later.